Now, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu says a total of 16,049 firearms were destroyed by the South African Police Service in February this year. These firearms were seized during Operation Shanela. He says the Western Cape, Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape recorded high murder rates. He commended the men and women in blue for fighting crime and encouraged them to continue to serve diligently.
The fourth quarter statistics, as with the previous quarters, we are seeing significant decrease in most crime categories when compared to the same period in the preceding financial year, 1 January to 31 March 2024. While we have not yet reached our ultimate goal of a crime-free South Africa, these figures confirm we're indeed making significant progress. We must, however, be clear-eyed about the challenges that remain. During this quarter, sexual offenses, including rape and conduct sexual crimes, along with commercial crimes, have shown increases. These are deeply concerning trends that demand renewed focus and urgent intervention. The four high crime provinces, Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape and Eastern Cape, contributed the bulk of murder incidents nationally as before. Yet when compared to the same period last year, the current statistics offer some encouragement. Among the top 30 police stations for murder, 13 stations registered lower counts and 2 stations recorded no change. We'll continue to intensify efforts to reduce the overall murder rate in the country and other crimes. Regrettably, we must report the loss of 22 police officers, 6 while on duty and 16 while off duty, with 10 of those in Gauteng. This is not just a loss to the SAPS, but to the entire nation. Let us be clear, an attack on police officers is an attack on the state, and those responsible will face the might of the law, as will be reported in terms of inclusion in the arrests that have been made, in some cases sentences.
All right, and for more on this, we are now joined by the Police Minister, Senzo Mchunu, and he joins us now via our video link. Minister, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, let's start off here. Something to commend the men in blue on is the issue around the decrease when it comes to the murder rate in South Africa, and that decreasing by at least 12.4%. Something to commend, but at the same time, still worrying trends.
Yes. Yes, one journalist at one point asked me, what do we attribute the reduction to? There was at the time we're releasing third quarter stats. And I said to her, I think we are avoiding just acknowledging straightforward that it is police work, they are hard at work, men and women in blue. It is as a result of their work and very often in trying circumstances that we are seeing a reduction. And of course, we want to encourage them not only to double their effort, but to triple their effort, because the lives of so many people in South Africa are literally in their hands, and we all rely on them for our safety. We can only contribute, society and communities can only contribute, but in the forefront, it's the men and women in blue, and therefore we commend them for their work.
And Minister, as we commend the work of the men and women in blue, at the same time, another point of concern is the issue around contact crime and the issue around gender-based violence, and particularly when you zoom into rape. I mean, there is an increase of 21%, with 48 of those incidents which are said to have happened in our schools. That's a major concern.
That is quite worrying, and it's more than a SAPS job, that is sexual offences, because they happen behind closed doors, and they often happen, as our statistics show, between people who know each other, people who are familiar with one another, even in the location where such incidents take place, are incidents familiar to victims and well known to the perpetrator, almost more than 80% of the time. But we still have to up the ante on our side as police and make sure that post such an incident, we are quick and effective in effecting necessary law enforcement and take quick action against those who are responsible. It is necessary, and that's the best we can do. It is for this reason that the matter has been introduced in JCPS, a number of departments collaborating to say that there is a lot of work that we can do on the prevention side with social development, Department of Work, Women and Children, just mobilizing communities, supporting victims post, but mobilizing and making sure that people do what they can to reject this in public and make it known that communities throughout South Africa reject this barbaric and ugly sin called rape that is perpetrated against our women and children.
And at the same time, Minister, another problem that we have as a country is, of course, the issues around firearms and unlicensed firearms that we continue to see in our country. And it seems as if when it comes to Operation Shanela, would you say that it is yielding positive results since seeing the destroying of at least more than 16,000 firearms?
I would say it is yielding results, but you are working against a number that is unknown, where in some communities almost everybody walking the streets is carrying an unlicensed firearm at that. And therefore, we're still quite worried. We have even said we are wanting to effect tighter controls on legal firearms, hence the regulations that have been publicized, and we're still receiving submissions on them. There needs to be tighter control to close the gaps that exist. And it's not true that we are depriving security companies of firearms that they need. We were able to engage them on that, and it's not that, definitely. But on the other hand, we're more worried about firearms that are out there that are unlicensed, because it is clear that a lot of crimes in South Africa are committed via unlicensed firearms, and we need to zoom in on them, as we are going to do. And therefore, yes, these are assist 16,000 and more, because others assist during normal operations of police in a police station and so on, and some when criminals try to shoot at police and so on. But a lot remain, and that is a worry.
Something else which is a point of concern, which has been raised by US President Donald Trump, is the issue around a white genocide and farm murders taking place in the country. According to your statistics, 6 farm murders took place in at least Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Free State, Limpopo. 2 employees, 1 farm dweller, 2 farmers, 1 manager. What do these statistics say when it comes to, things being raised around a white genocide and farm murders taking place in the country?
We have pointed out at the danger of high-profile people, including presidents, like the President of the United States, and other people of high profile anywhere in the world, that we believe that statements, because of their sheer influence, statements that they made when sharing their thoughts about any particular problem are regarded as very important, and they influence a lot of people. They rather be careful. They rather be on the side of facts, so that even after they are no longer presidents, when they look back and they look at their legacy, they have nothing to regret. And in this instance, we are quite critical of the utterances or the statements that were made by the president. Much as we respect him and we respect the United States and we respect the people of the United States, but we don't respect, as we said, misleading information on a factual basis. And in this instance, we made reference to the case that he was using, the material that he was using when he had a meeting with our president in the White House, showing material and pictures of what was actually a symbolic protest against the murder of farmers between Newcastle and Normandy, where they were demonstrating, putting crosses on the side, on the both sides of the roads. That was symbolic. It doesn't signify graves. There were no graves under each one of those crosses. It was just symbolic. Of course, serious in the sense that murders of a couple had taken place there, and there were other murders before that. And it was befitting that they would use that to demonstrate. But then to turn that into facts and actually tell the world that in South Africa, look at graves of white farmers is grossly misleading.
Yeah.
And it is unfounded, and it is unfortunate.
All right, Minister, thank you so much for your time and for that insight in terms of those crime statistics that we saw for the fourth quarter of 2024 and 2025. And that was released by the Minister earlier today. Thank you so much for your time. Police Minister there, Senzo Mchunu, giving us his insight.